How's it going?
Good.
My moderator isn't here, so I can do whatever I want. Oh, no, you do you. Don't you rush over here. You do you, sir. Have a lovely day. Go get a drink. Go get some food. Are you scared I'm gonna do something?
No, I'm not scared.
But the Khan has made sure that I control Ian. Make sure he's not alone with a mic.
No, don't worry. You're an angel.
I am. Oh yeah, no, I can do that. I'll do the angel voice. Hi.
No, absolutely.
What you got there? Oh, that's a Coca-Cola. Good. It's too early to drink. Don't drink this early.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to judge if you do, though.
No,
Godspeed.
I mean, the bar's right there.
It's right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the angelic panel. So this is with Ian Sinclair right here.
You didn't have to start. I'm sorry.
It's all right. No, I was literally just trying to find someone to like turn the lights on. But
Oh, I don't need lights. What's up? How you doing?
it seems like they're all doing okay.
That's a good roche. That's good stuff.
That is a good rush over
That's a
there.
good roche.
Excellent.
Damn. Blue Goku. Loki Goku looking great.
Do you think Goku could get a tattoo? Or do you think his skin at this point is so strong that it would break a needle?
He's scared of needles,
It
isn't he?
wouldn't stay on. He would go, bah, and it would just like...
No, not to mention for the fact that Goku is scared of needles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then basically he'd just be like nowhere near it. So it's like, no, he would just be like, oh cool, I really want that thing to... You have to put him under. Then he would really appreciate it afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, Goku. Silly little Goku.
He's quaint though. He's quaint though in his own special way.
No, I love him. Dude, growing up, we all... Oh my god, it's only me. Hi. Growing up, I loved Goku. Like, Goku was absolutely my favorite, but I think I'm shifting more into Vegeta Man because of being Whis. Because I have to talk to them and, like, talk down to them sometimes, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, because it's like with Vegeta, it's like he needs a bit more mollycoddling, whereas Goku, you just let him do his thing. Let him do his thing. Vegeta just needs a little bit more like, you okay there, buddy?
Yeah, he needs little nudges by poking his pride. I mean, that's the only reason I think he had Vegeta. So he had Vegeta come up and train with him first, so that that would motivate Goku, and then Goku, with a tiny little bit of motivation, is going to then drive Vegeta to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Just to get to Whis' desire of making him the new god of destruction.
Thank you.
That's what
Why
he
does
wants.
no one else pay attention to the fact that Whis has said that like 4 times? We just had this guy.
Yeah. It's one of those things, you just pay attention, and it's just like, yeah, everyone seems to become a god of destruction. Yeah, Frieza might be one for Universe 9. They try to bribe him with it.
Yeah, it is a transferable title. I mean, and you see that neither Vados nor Whis. Is it me? It is me, isn't it?
I think it's just like calibration. It's just
I'm
like
gonna do that.
I
There
think it
we
might
go.
be me, so I just have to get further away.
I'm sorry.
That's alright. It's just
Yeah, Whis and Vados
Yes.
both actually displayed their discontent with their charges when they were with Zeno. They were like, oh, they're lazy.
tech support.
It's the angel or god.
Yeah.
It's just the sheen, it's the shining light.
So much. There we go. No more reflective. There we are. Hi.
Alright,
I gotta
okay.
speak like this. Oh. Okay. There we are. Hey.
Don't worry, it's being tweaked. Yay!
1,
There we
2,
go.
3, 4, 5, 6. Hello. Hi, Internet.
Yes, there we go. We're good. We're good. So yeah,
So you're gonna moderate, huh?
Well, you told me yesterday that you've got your own set of powers, so I can let you do you.
No. Oh, I like you. So come on. What do you want to talk about?
Well, basically, it's just talking. We can like do a mix and match of it.
Okay.
So basically, it's just like kind of thinking like, well, so that's all very well and good about Whis. So you say from all the stuff that you've been saying this weekend is that you are a massive Dragon Ball fan, right? How did you discover Dragon Ball?
My brother. I had my wisdom. Sorry, very specific memory, and after you do enough interviews and stuff about Dragon Ball, like you remember that exact memory. It was got my wisdom teeth taken out, had dry socket, got infected, giant kind of thing where you're like that, and you're laid up on the couch, and I was a kid, and I'm laid up on the couch, and cartoons are on, and my brother just walks in, and he goes, "We're watching Dragon Ball Z," and he just turns it on, and I had no idea what the hell I was watching, and then at the end of the episode, I was like, "Well, are they going to fight?" And nothing had happened. It was just weird, one of those weird stare-down kind of episodes. It was, I believe, Cell Saga-ish, I think it was. And then, like, after that, I was like, well, let's watch more. And then it became a thing that we watched together. And then we found tapes. And we'd watch all the tapes. And then I had a friend in Florida be like, bro, we gotta sit down and binge it from the original Saiyan saga. So we did that. And then some of it he didn't actually have in the Funimation dub, so that's how I heard the Ocean dub. And then, yeah. Then it was one of those. It's just one of the shows that you watched at that time, and it was the only one that was anime, and I had no idea what it was, but it was part of my like Batman, X-Men block that was just in my mind of these action shows, which there weren't other cartoons that were actually like that. So that's how I got into it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was just around the time around about like the mid-90s, stuff like that. So basically it was just like one of those times where anime was barely finding its feet, and like you didn't even know it was anime, it was all localized, it was all like saying what, Japan doesn't make cartoons?
No, and then you'd hear stuff like, that's West City over there.
Man, these jelly-filled donuts are delicious.
Yeah, oh god.
Yeah, that's right.
Man.
Yeah, and all the old edits that they did in Dragon Ball Z, the convenient shrubs, when Gohan changes back to a kid.
Yep.
Yep, all those times. So you saw it growing up. So when you got into like, so did you ever like envisage, when you were a kid, that you get to actually be in the show?
No. The concept even of like being a voice actor wasn't in my head until I was in college, and somebody who was working at Funimation introduced me to it, and I was like, oh, okay, because I just wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
But then it was something that I loved so much that I got all weird and obsessive about it. No, I didn't think, and even when I joined Funimation, I was firmly under the impression that I would never get to be in Dragon Ball, because it's over. And then they're like, we're doing Kai, and I'm like, cool, can I be in the background? And I got to be in the background, but that's it. And I never thought it would be like, I never thought it would come back, so I was absolutely thrilled. And really, I thought that the whole Battle of Gods thing was just a one-off movie. I thought it was going to be, ironically, I used to say for the longest time, it was like Broly. It was like, I'll never be canon. I'm like Broly, I'm just in a movie or two. Then both of those are canon now, so. Even though Broly is actually technically, because Kale is canon before Broly's just male Kale.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That is basically, there was a period around the time when as soon as Kale went hench.
What? Yes, I am.
100% correct.
You know.
So,
Male Kale.
yeah, it is male Kale. And I remember, I could swear I saw somebody make a parody pop figure box called, that was Broly, male Kale. It's pretty much what it was.
And I really, actually really love the new iteration of Broly. I love the idea of Incredible Hulk Broly instead of I'm angry at a crying baby Broly.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, the entire movie, because I saw it 4 times, like twice, once in Japan with no subtitles. It was all raw. So it was like, my friend thought that there was this one Japanese theater in Roppongi that actually had subtitles. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Then we realized, oh no, they don't. Well, here's me trying to do a review in Tokyo, guessing what happens. Well, it's Dragon Ball, you can kind of guess what happens. You can kind of guess. It was the 40X seats, so it was like, spraying water. So basically, whenever people like fly off when they're out in the Arctic, it's just like the snow and like tufts of thing. And those 40X seats, they have no like control. Like they throw you in your seat. You cannot adjust the intensity.
Man.
That's so good. Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys. Go ahead, Ian.
Okay.
Answer the question.
No, we were in the middle.
Answer the question!
What question would you like me to answer?
Why are you so sexy?
You're gonna have to ask my mama. I don't know.
You just wondering what you got?
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you treat people like that on a date, sir.
That's Sunday afternoon shenanigans for you right there. So
this has gone off the rails, sir. Yes.
No, it's all right.
Yes,
so basically, we talked about like the Battle of Gods. You got to see it like at non-con.
Yes.
But with Resurrection F, that had a proper premiere.
Yes.
So was that your first movie premiere that you got to be at?
I don't think I didn't get to go to the premiere of Resurrection. I got to go to the premiere of Broly, but I got to go to the movie theater for Resurrection F, which was neat.
Oh, cool. So were you just like making a song and dance that you were there, or did you just want to kind of just like blend in and just see what the reaction was?
Oh, one of the best things about being a voice actor is nobody knows me. Nobody knows what I look like or gives a crap. It's awesome. So I get to go in my like Goku shirt, and everybody's just like, dope shirt, and you're like, yeah, and you just go. So no, I never assume that anybody knows who I am, because that's weird and silly to assume. And if any voice actor ever gets upset that you don't know who they are, they're a jerk. They're just kind of a jerk person who happens to be famous. No. So no, I don't assume that, and it's extremely casual to go to like a random movie theater and just go see it. I saw it in the biggest screen I could at a place that claims to have the biggest screen in Texas, but I don't. We're Texans, we say crap like that all the time, so I don't know. And it was just me and my brother. We went out and saw Resurrection F, and it was really great. But he had already, like, man, stop streaming stuff online, people.
Yeah.
My brother was like, hey man, Broly movie's out a week before. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, my friend watched it online. He's gonna go see it in the theater. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, support the official release, people.
Honestly, I found out through this whole being a part of going from being a fan of Dragon Ball to being in Dragon Ball, going to the movie and buying it actually does matter. Like, super does matter, because they look at, like, the numbers for you going to the movie or whether or not they're going to do the show. Like, had that movie not done as well as it is, like, had it tanked, I'd be like, yeah, we're not going to get any more Dragon Ball Super. But, like, now I'm like, maybe. Broly went really well. I hope. Like,
Yeah,
right?
that was $120 million.
Right, that's what they gotta make more, right?
And that's for like, it was barely in theaters for like a couple of weeks.
It rocked out. We were very proud of that.
Yeah, no, you should be.
But yeah, so thank you if you went. Did they have it here?
Oh yeah, we got
Hell
it.
yeah. Hell yeah. It was so good. Honestly, what I think is the best Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah, no, I think I was with a few people. We went to the UK premiere in Leicester Square.
Oh.
So that was nice. It was just like kind of like nice little kind of event. Manga UK, who are the distributors of Dragon Ball here. So that was a nice little time. And
So jealous.
yeah, no, it was a really nice time. It was really nice and casual. But so let's spin it to Dragon Ball Super Broly. So when did you get the call, like from Sada or Funny, like saying, "Hello, hey, we're doing Broly"?
I had heard that we might be, and well, oh no. First of all, Okay, so they don't tell us anything in general, and especially not me, because I'm like the Tom Holland of the cast, and they're afraid I'm going to spoil everything. By the way, I made that joke on like a dozen interviews for the Broly premiere, and I said Tom Hiddleston on accident for like all of them. No one corrected me. I even was like, Spider-Man, right? And they're like, uh-huh. Like a dozen articles, me calling myself Tom Hiddleston, just, you know. Anyway, but nobody tells us anything at all. And so I heard about it because that clip came out online, and I was convinced that it was going to be the original Saiyan that got brought back after the end of Super. I was like, it's going to be the original Saiyan, man. You can see the little green, man. That was my theory. And was that other one?
Oh, we had loads of those.
Yeah, no.
Everyone was thinking because they talked about the original Super Saiyan God. It was
Exactly.
Like, it was the original Super Saiyan God coming down to see Goku, who was another Super Saiyan God. It's like, you disappoint me. But no, it was Broly.
It was Broly.
The reaction to that title drop was just like, it's like Tina from Ball YouTuber. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, not sure. But then the trailer came out and everything was fine.
Yeah, it was like, Broly?
Really?
Okay. But again, that's because we only knew of him
Yeah,
on
exactly.
like Kakarot and the
It was
Prime
our
and
thoughts.
just- But like, what I like to call Incredible Hulk Broly, because
Yes.
that's kind of what he is at this point. And I dig it. I like it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just like it's definitely one of those movies that it is like a turning point. Like with as you were saying the other day about like the animation style was something that you got to do. Did that really help when you were watching it, when you were recording your lines? Did it really kind of help your performance just to see Whis being a bit more elasticated, as it were?
I actually gave some takes that were even bigger and more elastic, and it made the entire room like laugh. And then they're like, "We can't go that far with him." And I'm like, "But look, he does this stupid little thing with his head like that." And they're like, "I know, and it's funny. He's trying to give information at this point. We can't." But I because of Whis, anytime I do Whis, I really focus on all of his little subtle facial expressions and what subtext he might be throwing in and what shade he might be throwing. And the new art style, had so much life to it that it gave me tons to play with. I barely had any lines. I was in there for half an hour. That movie took me half an hour to do. And Yeah, so I didn't get much, but the bits I got, like, there was so much subtext in the drawings that I got a lot to play with.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good to see. So, when you actually got the part of Whis, did you then immediately try and find a copy of Battle of Gods, or did you go into it with like a different interpretation in mind or something like that?
No, well, I got Whis before Battle of Gods. I got Whis.
Oh, for Battle of Z.
Mm-hmm.
Of the video
Xenoverse.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, and Xenoverse as well.
Was it Battle
No,
of
Battle of Z was 2013, the PS Vita game.
Yeah, no, it was Xenoverse that we did it in, I believe. Xenoverse 2, maybe?
I think both Xenoverses and Battle of Z. Battle of Z, that was a big deal because that was the first game with Super Saiyan God, Beerus, and Whis.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, because it
Yes,
was like around the time it came out in Japan. We got the game, and yet the movie hadn't come out here.
Nope.
So that was weird.
We didn't have much knowledge of any of it. I walked in and they were like, he's terrified about pudding. We don't know why. Because there was never Battle of Gods at this point, and so you never had any of these pudding scenes. But I go, Lord Beerus, they've run out of the pudding. And we just did a bunch of different takes to like be like, okay, these are a swath of things that he might be like, and then we brought it to the Japanese and they're like, oh yeah, that's great. And then it was like, okay, that works. And then when we saw it, I was like, oh, this all makes sense. That voice really works for that. Awesome. And then, because I had to re-audition, I had a leg up since I had done the games, and they seemed to like me. If you didn't know, the video games are cast by a different part of...
Because it's Bandai.
Bandai
in charge of the games.
casts the games, and then Toei does the show, so that's why sometimes you'll hear a different person in the games than the show. So I then had to audition for Toei, and that was terrifying, but it worked out.
Yeah, it was Toei-fying, as you might say.
Man, that's nerve-wracking. Just the entire concept of them listening to you at all is just horrifying. But they're really nice. They're all really nice. I don't know. I've introduced myself, but was a bumbling American through the entire thing. And
I know that's the thing. But as you described yourself, you know everything about Dragon Ball. You know a lot about it, so you feel like you have that. You have the imagination to go like, oh my god, I don't want to mess anything up. Yeah. Whereas if you're a regular actor, you can go like, okay, it's not a gig. I'm going to be respectful and that kind of stuff. There's no worry behind it.
Oh no, this was terror.
Was
the work every time. And I told the director, I was like, Raleigh, I understand that the work I do here today will be seen by more people than all of the rest of my career combined. It's just what it is. So like, we're going to make sure we're good on this. I refuse to work the day before I ever do Dragon Ball to make sure I'm perfectly high-pitched.
Of course.
I have tons of rules and specific Whis warm-ups and all these other things that are, but it also makes you the terrified, fan in the room when, I got to meet Masako and Zawa and have you ever gone to meet her?
I wish I did.
Oh, dude, it's just wonderful, but it is intimidating.
Oh yeah, not gonna lie, if I ever met Masako Nozawa, and this is like something I normally say, I'd never say what I did. Never. Why? She wouldn't understand, she wouldn't care. I just want to meet her as a fan. That's why I have the name, the portmanteau online. So that means that I have the nom de plume, the username. But I wouldn't rub that in her face or anything like that. No. I just want to meet her and just say hi, and just her being maternal and all that.
But dude, I honestly think it would have been easier for me had I just been going as a fan, because I could just be like, it's an honor, thank you very much. But I tried to say I'm Whis, and she was like, she was like, Balma! I was like, okay, she knows her, but okay, all right, no, I think she understands that I wasn't just going, I love Whis. Because I'm not sure whether or not Masako thinks I did that, or she knows that I was Whis, but I was then on stage with her an hour later, so I think we figured that out.
She would have clocked it eventually.
She got it by that point, I'm sure. But I think at the moment in the hallway where this big 6 foot tall guy goes, hi, Whis! It's like, Whis back at you, buddy.
Well, speaking of the Japanese actors, have you had a chance to meet...
No, I've been able to meet Frieza. I met Ryu and I've met Frieza, and they're both extremely nice.
Oh, yes. No, I met Ryo at an Irish convention. There's a little Galway convention called the Qaaman. It's the beginning of January. And Ryo acted like a proper thespian. It's in the middle of the winter, red turtleneck, sipping glasses of wine, because they have a wine reception on the Fridays.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, he was loving that time, and he was being hosted by a Japanese cafe. and you just got to hear him doing some English and then singing Senseiya.
He is a rock star.
He is.
That's actually how he introduced himself to me.
No, absolutely. I mean, I saw him at AnimeAjay. He was like wearing Hawaiian shirts. He was really having a blast.
Yeah. He is, no, I met him at Anime Expo one year, and oh God, I'm remembering this. I haven't thought about this in forever. I sat down next to this little dude, and I was like, hi, how's it going? And I was there for panty and stocking. I had zero involvement with Dragon Ball at this point. He was like, oh, hi. He was like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a voice actor. He goes, oh, me too. I was like, well, oh yeah, really? Yeah, he goes, yeah, I do that, and I'm a rock singer. I was like, oh, that's cool. And he was like, yeah, and then we talked just for a minute. He's like, you live in LA? And just the most basic thing. And then they were like, and now, Vegeta! And he's like, ah, and he just walks off, and I'm like, holy crap! oh. I looked at my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, oh, it's Vegeta! And she's like, yeah.
No, don't worry. What was your girlfriend at the time? Basically, someone who was like completely out of the loop.
Oh,
with all this kind of stuff.
no. Well, I mean, when you're backstage and you're not Ian going like, people were aware of what was going on.
No, as in like, outside, she wasn't really an anime fan or anything like that. Relatively?
No. I weirdly like the last few women I've dated have all known and been involved in anime. So
Okay.
Like, yeah, no.
No, that's fair. It's just like, it's just like in terms of like they don't see the full importance of it.
No, that'd be my family members. They're like, they think what I do is weird and silly and have no knowledge of it. They didn't really like register that I was an actor until the Broly premiere when they saw me on the red carpet. And then they were like, oh, we're gonna show everybody in Canada. You do stuff. I'm like, yeah, Mom. This is like my third Dragon Ball movie, Mom.
Yeah, no, it's just like because my absolutely, because my parents didn't realize until I was on like a major panel at Otakon for like 2,000 people. Then my dad was just like, oh, okay, this is what you do.
Good job, boy.
Yeah, but then it was just like, but then at the same time, he had no idea what Dragon Ball was, and his first introduction was like, it was during the Cell games. Cell having a temper tantrum, he wasn't getting his way. Screams his head off. Dad walks in, goes, "Why is that man in green trousers screaming?" And I went, "I don't know." I just like I was bowled over by that response. It was just parents just don't get it sometimes. But then my mum sometimes with she'd see like anime figures I had at the time when I was a teenager, and she'd be just like, "Don't judge me." And she'd like, "No, I think they're really cool." I thought at the time, oh, she really digs it. And so I had to do this with your older brother, you know. And then my now fiance was just like, she was probably just saying that to be nice. It's like, don't take that illusion from me.
My dad, I think he's the best he said was, "You've picked a really different life, and you seem to have made it work for you." So I got that, and then there was the whole process of convincing him that Whis was a boy. Which he maybe, I don't know, he's an angel, he gets to be whatever he wants to be.
Admittedly, yeah, there are some expressions that Whis does that makes you question it. But he's glorious.
No, it was the lipstick and the pretty eyes. He was like, are you sure?
And sometimes the starry eye, the love eyes, and you're just like,
having fun.
no, it's glorious, absolutely. That's why he is, outside of Goku, one of my favorite characters, because he just has that, he has that liberty because no one can challenge.
Yeah.
And you just see that scene in the Broly movie, he's just dancing around, it's super Broly. Everyone else is having a bad time, and he's just like, ooh. As in like, oh, gotcha. Just treating him like a pet. Even more so than the other Saiyans.
We kept giggling, it was like that, oh, I don't know, it's like, do you have Geico here? Is that?
No. But the guy who acts...
The Geico commercial, you know the one where he's like, oh, you almost got it there. Oh, you almost got it.
Yeah, but the guy who voices the Gecko is in one of our like major soap operas here.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
In pretty much the same voice. It's just like, it's such a disconnect.
Geico. Something like that.
Yeah. No, it's the lizard. It's like,
Oh, the lizard!
yeah, don't you know what's going on there, mate? It's, that kind of thing. It's
It's
just,
sad how many Americans think he's Australian.
nah, it's Cockney.
I know, I know!
Proper
but like,
Londoner.
I've had to explain that to a fair amount of people.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
no, that's not a... Never mind.
No, that's fair enough. But
Yeah.
so going back to the voice of Whis, would you ever want to meet the Japanese
Oh,
voice
God,
actor?
yes. Oh, yes. No, I'd love to talk to him. He's also Ichigo in Bleach, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, he's incredible, and I want to thank him, because apparently Toriyama loves him, and loves what he's done, and thinks that the Japanese Whis can do no wrong, which is awesome, because that means he's going to put him in more stuff. Because if he hated that voice actor, then my job would be over, because I don't know that he's hurt me. I'm sure, I don't know. Do you think that they've heard the English dub?
I think they would do, because if Toei were happy with it, they would have obviously listened to it, and they'd be like, yeah, we dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, if the latest manga chapter is anything to go by, Whis may have something.
Go on.
Skeletons in the closet, maybe. That's all I know. but it's all like bubbling. Takes another couple of chapters, but there may be something.
Yeah?
We'll read the manga.
I have been busy in the last month, and I didn't know that, okay, cool.
Let's just say that there's...
We're going
Seeds
to
being
talk
sown.
off mic later, and you need to tell me everything.
Well, yeah, I have people we know, we can talk.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so basically, okay, let's roll it round to one of the roles that I recently realized that you did, and you were in Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
In Rashid.
Rashid of the Turbulent Wind.
No, but it's just that it basically if any of the soundtrack became a meme, it was Rashido. No, that must have been like, when was it, so you got to hear that scene, and did you hear that music before or after you booked the gig?
Oh, I heard Rashido when it came out. Like, I went in, I saw that he had a scouter, I got to see a little bit of him jumping around, kind of, they're like, do you want to see a model of the character? And we went through that. I love that character. I don't want to spoil things. He does good things at the end of the game. And I thought that it was just going to be one of those things where every single character who plays that game gets their own storyline where they're the hero. And I was like, holy crap, Rashid, what? And it made me very, very happy, and I love Rashid. He's just a happy guy.
Yeah, just go and play Street Fighter V and you'll find out why. So, okay.
It's good stuff.
So let's run it back to you. So,
Yes.
in terms of what do you, outside of the Dragon Ball lifestyle, so you're jet setting over here to Milton Keynes, and try not to get lost around the roundabouts.
300 some odd, yeah?
Yeah, and a naming system, which I still cannot fathom. But, so, outside of that, when you're back at home, what are the kind of things that you like to do in your spare time, your hobbies and stuff like that?
Sweet. Okay. Well, I've got weirdly into ultralight backpacking in the last... I'm going to do my non-nerd stuff first, so you guys can fall asleep during that and wake up during the cool stuff. I got really into ultralight backpacking because I'm lazy and I don't like carrying too much up a mountain. But I love camping. I just love being outside, and that's because in my job I stare at screens all day. All day, all I do is stare at screens in a tiny little dark box, and so going outside is really neat for me. Past that, I play Magic. I'm a big video gamer. I watch a lot of cartoons and TV. I cook a lot. I read a lot of comics. Nothing glamorous, like Jake the dog shirt, like popcorn on my belly and just watching, Punisher. I've been watching Punisher lately. I never finished season 2, so I've been watching that. Playing a lot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which I'm playing on my Switch back in the room, which is a lot of fun.
No, it's just like
that.
it's fairly casual, nice little bit of hiking. It's a nice balance of the mix.
I have to. My job affords me the ability to travel sometimes for stuff like this, so I've figured out recently that what I can and should do is, like, I should have booked this con and been like, hey, y'all don't have to give me anything, just give me a room, and then I want you to pick me up and take me to this beginning of a trail, and then in like 5 days come back and pick me up again. I'm gonna be stinky, bring me back to a hotel so I can shower, and then I'll fly off. And then that way I can, like, I have a friend who, you know what, I'm gonna plug his business, Daniel, who has a hiking and kayaking and adventure group called Into the Outside in the Lakes District. And if you ever want to go camping up there or do any of that kind of stuff, he does that. I want to go do that. And I watched all these videos about the TGO challenge with people walking across Scotland. I was like, I want to do that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So, in terms of conventions and locales that you've been to, what would you say has been the most, like, let's do like the flipping of, like, what's been like the most, and you don't have to name the convention, just the location. What's been like the most, like, one that you just go, oh, okay, this is not like interminable, but also at the same time the locale and the place where you actually were like, this is really exotic and different.
Okay. I had a place, the one con that I think about that I go, don't want to go to, is because when I went to that convention, the owner of the convention thought it'd be really funny if all the actors pranked each other, and so they gave away my room key to another actor, and then gave me an actress's room key so I could prank her. And that's completely unacceptable to give a male actor a female actress's room key for funsies. That's so unacceptable, it's not even funny. I just ended up just taking it, sliding her under a door, and just like not going back to that con for a couple of years. So that's the one I don't like. Past that, I mean, you learn city's a city except for when you I don't know, extreme exotic locales that I was surprised by. Seattle was amazing. I had a great time in Dublin. This is my first con in England, so yeah. But I've been here so many times since I was a kid that back in England. This is great. I'm happy to be back in England. Craziest locale. Yeah.
Something that's been unusual, like let's say for like example, like ColossaCon. It's like
it's like at the Kalahari.
Like the water theme park.
Yeah, theme park where they'll be like, "Hey, after your panel, do you want to hold a baby lion?" Yeah. So I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, there are a couple that are like that. There are a couple where you show up and you're like in the hallway of a library and it's just you. That one's always weird.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, one last question before I put it out to the floor. So, what is like the role in Dragon Ball to you is the one that got away? Was Whis the only one that you auditioned for, or were there others?
No, Whis is the only one I auditioned for.
But it's the one that you
The
really
one that
want.
got away. See, I'm gonna do the same answer as I did last night. That's like asking, like, do you ever really like a girl and you went on a couple dates and then she was like, nah, and you thought about it every night and you cried yourself to sleep? That's Hit for me. I'm kidding. No, Hit would have been cool. I really do like Hit, but Mercer. I pushed for Mercer with Hit. I thought he was fantastic. With Dragon Ball, I've actually thought a lot about this. There's no character I would want more than Whis. I was just honored to be a part of it and so thrilled that I was like, yay, Whis! And then when the show came back, I was like, well, I hope he's still in it. But then after watching it, no, there's no one else I want to be. Like it'd be cool to be like Jiren or whatever, but if we're talking, it's cool because of power levels. I'm so much more powerful than him. So if it's like a need for power level, like, yay, I did great. If it's for amount of lines, Whis does not shut up. I am not like Krillin used to be like, oh, so Goku, do you think that means that this person's gonna be, and then like recapped everything? That's what Whis does for the back half of the show. Is people be like, what is happening? Be like, all right, so there are these universes. This is how it works. And then I just talk for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I love that, and I love how involved I got, and I love that I got to be a spectator slash commentator slash kind of the person who explained to the audience everything during that final tournament.
Yeah.
And getting to enjoy the tournament as Whis and have those moments like when Ultra Instinct happens. I got to like show the joy. And
I was gonna say that because that's the bit where Whis. This is the payoff throughout the entirety of Super.
Yeah.
And this is like Whis kind of like, it's not just like being overly superly duperly happily. It's more like just like there's that burning sense of pride that finally that little monkey got it.
Yes. And then I think the line is, I have been leading him towards this forever, was the line that I went with. And we recorded something else that was just super, super translaty and proper that was like, I have been wanting this for a very, very long time. And we recorded it and we both kind of went, that was okay. All right, and then we tried it for like another 5 minutes and we got it kind of okay. I had another session the next morning and I walked in and I go, I figured out how to say it. And he goes, you did? And I was like, And we checked the translation. We're like, nope, that's what it means. You can say it that way. And I am so glad because I love that line. Yeah, I fought for that one.
Oh, awesome.
Kind of like Douglas fought for Hakai. I fought for that.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Douglas fought for Hakai. He was like, it needs to be Hakai.
Yeah, and because I know the moment he just went, okay. Yeah. And it was just like, and everyone was like, really?
Yeah.
And that, because I think everyone, that was one of the most one of the curious flashpoints in that dub. What were they going to say? Don't just say destroy.
Destroy.
I mean, that's cool, but again, like, but Hakai, that was definitely one for the fans.
Yeah.
So.
Jason really wanted that.
Yeah.
We all really care what you guys are going to think and are paranoid about it and spend way too much time thinking about it and being scared.
Yeah.
So we were super glad everybody liked Super.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was definitely one of those ones, it was a grower. It started off a little bit shaky, but then it definitely improved a lot. So, all right, so we can get to the second half. How would you like to go about this, sir? Would you like to open up the floor?
All right, he's giving me the back half. I'm going to handle this like I handle panels when I'm on my own.
Alrighty.
Here's the honest truth. I'm one of those weird nerds like I talked about that I don't really know about much or I'm not into that much. I'm sure we all have that friend who like gets into something and then just obsesses about that thing and then kind of moves on. You're like, what are you into this month? I'm that kid. Here's the things that I know about this world. Comic books, I know about, well, mainly Marvel, because I actually like, character development and story. I love video games. I love cooking. I know a weird amount about cooking. I know about the anime that I've been in. If you ask me about Bleach, I'm going to lie to you. I know about backpacking and magic cards. Past that, I don't know much. So I will make up something and I'll try to be funny. If you want to ask me about anything, we can literally talk about whatever else you want. And then in about 10, 15 minutes, because what time we need to be done? 2?
Yep, basically if we're done in about 20 minutes or so.
All right, so in about 10 minutes we're going to do a lightning round because it gives me joy and it's fun. So ask me some random questions, please. Just raise your hand. Yes?
So what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is, so I've narrowed it down to noodles and dumplings and any iteration for any different culture, like raviolis, love them. Dim sum, love them. Give me some xiaolongbao. Like it depends on where you're from. Noodles and dumplings consistently give me joy. I went to Wagamama as soon as I got here. It was great. But thank you. What are your favorite foods?
That's an interesting question. If I had to pick one, it would be meatballs.
Meatballs, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love meatballs. Good answer. Do you have a question? What's up? I'm half Canadian. My dad's Canadian. He's from Toronto. My dad met a Texan chick, and he was like, no, I need to stay. She's great. And then his whole family's like, but we're going to go back to Canada. And he's like, yeah, but she's hot. And he just stayed. And that's why we're there Texan Sinclairs now. It's weird, but yeah. 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 Well, oh, like the warm-ups, like the vocal warm-ups that I do? All right, okay, so I made up my own warm-ups because I didn't pay enough attention in class. So I made up this thing that is like taking the consonant, the next vowel next to it, so I go throughout the entire alphabet, and then it goes into say. And I go through for A-E-I-O, and that takes like 20 to 30 minutes depending on how many repetitions I do. And that's good. And then it took me a long time. It was towards, I think, the back half that I figured out that if I do a la 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 la, but I do that in a really hot shower, so I'm getting tons of steam. I just start hacking up phlegm and gross bile and nasty stuff, and it's awful. Like my girlfriend has heard me just being like, ha, Lord Beerus, oh there I am. It's disgusting, but it works, and I mean, I have to. He's so clean and so pure, and yet Funimation keeps casting me as these really, like, big, angry dudes, so, like, it shreds my voice, because I'm doing big and growly and angry all the time, and this has to be very, very clean. So I refuse to work anyway before any days before that. I can work directly after it, which only me and Chuck Huber can do that. Dragon Ball shreds you, and only Android and 17 and Whis get away with 0 screaming and then go do another session right afterwards. It's great. Next question. Jawohl. Something that I learned in my career as a voice actor that I didn't expect going into it. I learned a lot about the realism, the realities of production. Before I started, and it's kind of when I started directing that I kind of found out what it was like to really put out a product. So y'all know, petitions don't really matter. I found that out because if I'm a director and I'm directing something and I get this petition and a bunch of people like hate something, but my boss is telling me to use somebody, I'm like, I'm not gonna get fired. I can't. I'm sorry, and you just do it. Like it's weird. Like you find out just kind of the chain of command and how like sometimes how little control certain people have. Also, I learned stuff like if an actor makes a really, really weird choice and it's stupid and they keep it long term, that's the director's fault. Like if an actor does a little weird thing here and there, sometimes that's their fault, but a consistently bad, weird, long-standing choice, that is a director's job to fix that. And that's one of those things that I just kind of learned. Also, I learned that if you are an actor and you're going in on an audition, they want you to be the person to get the role. They are praying that the next person that walks in the door is the Whis that they've been looking for, or something like that. They're like, please, 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 please. So know that they're on your side going into it. That never really clicked with me, but it's totally true. They want that. So instead of going in like, oh, they already hate me, hello, my name is Ian Sinclair, I'm with Mary Collins Agency. Like, instead it's like, hi, how's it going? And realizing that talent only gets you so far, being a good human being, infinitely more important. There are people that nobody wants to work with just because they're jerks. And they can be really, 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 really good, but you're a jerk, I'm not gonna call you in. This dude over here is not a jerk, he's just as good as you. I'm gonna use him, I like him, he's got kids, I'm gonna feed his kids. You know, stuff like that. Hank. The Wolverine anime that they did back in the day, I'd have made that good. I did not care for how that went, but I'm on camera, so that's as much as I'm gonna say. Yeah, this is the nice answers, by the way, because people are recording. What's up, Roshi?
You said Tony checks everything as well, right?
Yep.
So how much liberty did he give you in the sound you make your weeds when he's overexcited about food?
I mean, you just do as best as you can, and if they kick it back, they kick it back. I've done a lot of food anime. Like, weirdly, I've been in a lot of food animes. I've eaten in anime a lot. And so I actually took a bunch of, I stole from Greeley a lot. Like, Greeley and Toriko is a lot of Whis' noises, or Josh Greeley's Toriko noises. I just took them. They're mine now. I wonder if anybody would watch that and go like, oh, you sound like Whis. That'd be awesome. No, so you just go as crazy and like whatever, and that's another thing I've learned, like after over a decade, you kind of get comfortable as learns like, do the performance that you want to do, make it like, and I want it to be as true to the original as it is, but like, do your performance. If they want it to change, they'll ask you to change it. Just do the best acting you can, and don't worry about like, because they're always there. Just do you. Next question, yeah.
If you ever came across any fan theories or what-ifs in terms of Dragon Ball?
All the time. Go on.
Yeah, so any other fan theories that were particularly your favorites?
My favorite fan theory is mine, which is the next thing that's going to happen is that Vegeta's going to figure out that Beerus ordered the destruction of his planet. He's going to lose it. He's absolutely going to lose it on Beerus, and they've been waiting for that fight again. They're keeping Beerus around for a reason, and I know that they kind of do the Piccolo kind of Uncle Beerus thing, but I think they're waiting for something. I think that that's going to come in. I mean, and then I hear stuff like skeletons in Whis' closet.
Yeah, well, basically, it's just down to the fact that it's a very common theory about like, Frieza is probably going to be the one to drop that bomb. It's going, well, Vegeta, I don't suppose you know the thing that Beerus did to your planet. Oops, did I say that?
Just walk out.
He's going to drop that bomb. Basically, he's not getting his way with the Saiyans, because now basically Frieza's become the Joker. I'll get you next time, Saiyans!
Oh, that is, yeah.
Yeah, now it is now. But basically, he's just going to get sick and tired, and basically, that is his nuke.
Yeah.
And he will just go like, well, Vegeta, perhaps you want to know what happened to your planet and why I decided to blow it up. It wasn't me. Yeah, so basically...
That's a good Frieza, by the way.
Well, it's just like, you know, where you kind of like hang around like Little Griebo's Frieza, then you hear Chris Ayres' Frieza, you hear loads of different Friezas.
Yeah.
And then when you do the various what-ifs, you end up just doing the voices, just kind of out for illustrative effect.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's totally going to happen. And then I think we will see Beerus at 100% power.
I'd like
having to fight Vegeta.
That's what I want to see. I think that's going to be great. And then I've heard stuff about demons. That was another theory I saw a lot of. If they're angels, are there going to be demons? And there have been demons throughout Dragon Ball, so, like Deborah. But more on the, like, angelic demon, like, the opposite side, kind of like the exact same thing, but I don't know, red and black hair, maybe. That'd be interesting. I don't know. Whatever it is, I just hope it involves Whis a lot. That's all I care about. Yeah, Whis. Lord Beerus sleeps too much. He's not earned it. Yes. Oh, you just scratched me.
So, what was your reaction when you learned that?
What was my reaction when I found out that Whis had a dad? I was like, okay. In general, you just... When you've done anime for a long enough time, not much surprise. I'm in One Piece, and after you've been in One Piece for a while, and people talk to you about crazy fishman, mermaid kind of robot-y, like you just go, oh, okay, because anime, and you just accept it. Him having a dad, I was like, okay, what's he like? And they were like little and everything like that, and I said, you should use Josh. You should use Josh. And I pushed for Josh. Sorry. I'm that annoying guy because I'm friends with Sabat and everybody that I just gonna come in and be like, have you guys cast this guy yet? You should use this person. You should just do that. Okay, bye. And then I don't know if they listen to me, but some of them got cast. Yep.
So obviously, we speak potentially for a new lot of destruction to like Vegeta and whatever. So if that actually happens, what's going to happen to Beerus? And is there ever been a mention of Oob being potential in the future?
Boo's even worse about sleep. Are you asking about other potential gods of destruction? Boo would be worse than Beerus. Oh, Oob. Oob. Oob would be good. Oob would be fun. I think Broly, personally, like, if you had to have somebody that is fairly docile and controllable until you go, bad people, like, that's a good god of destruction in my opinion. Like, that world's gone if you kick Broly out of, like, the spaceship and say bad people, hurt. There have been a lot of gods of destruction, man. I don't know. Well, I guess you don't have to die. You don't have to die when you transfer that.
That's a big question. Because you say, what happens when you retire? Do you then suddenly lose your immortality and you then die? Like you then just continue to age and you eventually die?
Yeah, I mean that
But you probably get whatever you want. You can you live a comfortable life, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a big question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, Supreme Kai would have to go. No, but don't. No,
Not necessarily.
There's the transferring of the mantles in the
They would
Tournament of
transfer.
Power.
Oh, they would transfer it, and it's not necessarily they die.
Yeah.
I imagine.
No, and then Kaioshin would be attached to
another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Boom. The weirdest thing someone's asked me to say is Whis. Okay. So I was telling a story on a panel about how when I started my career, I was doing shows like Black Butler and Hitalia, and like all my fans were just like young girls, and so they'd come in and be like, tell me that you love this country, tell me that you love this person. And then I was Space Dandy, and then everyone was like, dude, hit on my mom. And I got, yeah, that became a thing in my career. At some point in life, that happened to me, and now people give me their phones sometimes and go, hit on my mom. And I told this story on a panel, and a guy goes, can you do that as Whis? And I did that over a phone. It's like, hi there, how are you? It's weirdly flirted into a phone. So there's that. Good question, though. About us.
When doing your vlogs with singing parts, how much warm-up and process do you have to go through and you're confident in it?
Oh, I'm never confident in my singing. Asking how much warm-ups I do for the singing that I do for... I don't know who told like Funimation that I like or could sing, but they've been, for the last, I don't know how long, they've been putting me in those. I do, they give you a week or two, I mean, depending upon if it's simuldub and how early we have the elements, they will, they send you a scratch track, they send you a thing, and then you go in and you got a couple hours to do it, but like you got like a week, and depending upon the project, I work on it differently. So with Space Dandy, they had this one song that apparently Dandy sang in a club for 2 hours straight because they didn't have any other songs. So they were just like, cool, you like that one? We're gonna do it again. And then they just sang the same song for 2 hours straight. So I practiced that by doing that in my booth. So I turned on like flashing club looking lights and I would sing for like 30 minutes of just a loop of it. And then I kind of sit out and have a little drink of water, take a second, go back there and I do it for 2 hours. And I was like, that's yeah, Disco Dandy. No, that was a whole other episode. That was a different episode. So that's what I did for that. For other ones, you know, you spend a week kind of singing along in the car. And then luckily, Brina Palencia and Don Bennett are the voice directors, and I go in there like a child, like, Don Bennett, make me sound good. I don't want to do, oh, Don Bennett, make it work. And she just kind of goes, okay, you're good. And then sits me down and makes it, like, takes me through it, and we do it section by section, and it's terrifying, but it's a lot of fun. It's just terrifying because I'm nervous about singing in front of people. Yeah, thank you for the question. Last question before lightning round. Yes, okay, yeah. Lord Beers, I just had Lord Beers. No, the pudding is bad.
You know they would do that if this was done in the 90s.
Oh, God. Oh, the fact that they didn't push Whis to be British, I was surprised. I was surprised that they weren't like, he's kind of like, he's proper. He's like Blue Butler. Surprised it didn't go that way.
Yeah, I'm very surprised about that.
No, I just went, it's a very, proper. But I directed Black Butler, so I'm ripping off Tatum all the time. So here's what I want to do for the next 10 minutes, because I only got 10 minutes left in the panel. We're going to do a lightning round. I want you to ask me the weirdest questions you can think of. Remember, there are children present. But I want weird questions. I'm going to tell you, Montreal in Canada currently has the record for the best weird questions I've ever been asked. I can't even remember all of them, but they were really, really weird. The example I like to give is if you had a favorite type of ice cream, if you had a magical unicorn, what kind of ice cream would it poop? And I'm like, rainbow sherbet, of course. I've moved on to Rocky Road recently because I find that funny. Or Chunky Monkey. Let's be Chunky Monkey. So ask me as weird as you can. It doesn't have to be about anything. I'm going to answer it in only a couple of questions. Don't ask me like, how'd you get a voice acting? That's a long answer. I'm going to set my answer quick. Raise your hand. We'll see how many people I can get to. Once I don't see hands, I'm leaving you. I'm going to go sit over there. Or I might go to Nando's. Y'all didn't take me to Nando's last night.
Oh, what, you didn't go to Nando's?
No, we went to a proper pub, though. Bangers and Mash.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Good
All
stuff.
right.
Yep, go. My favorite number is 73 over 9,000. Niner, yes. If Whis could get up with any Dragon Ball character, who would it be? Oh, I heard you. Your dad. Yeah, that's my answer. Yes. Strangest common. Ooh, I like that. All right. Strangest combination of foods would be like a. It looked like pizza, but it was a cake. It was this weird, like, fake cake. There was a fake pizza that was a cake. My brain was like, I don't like how that does, I want pizza now. That's not good. I don't see any more hands, so this is, oh, hi. Please. My brother got me a cheval steak, and it was really good until he explained what it was. It's horse. Yeah.
Oh.
Favorite type of fish? Actually, like a miso cod. But in general, like a fish, clownfish, why not? I don't know. Came out, yes.
What's the strangest line you've ever had to deliver?
The strangest line I've ever had to deliver? I remember one of the earliest ones that was really weird is, I'm glistening with man grease. I don't even remember what show that was from. But he was glistening with man grease, yes. Cheval is horse. We were in Switzerland. My brother's like, let me order for you. He's like, this steak's good. He's like, is it? I'm like, yeah, it's actually really good. I don't get what cut this is, though. And he's like, keep eating. And he told me afterwards. And I was like, oh, I feel bad now. Yes? If I could have one superpower, what would it be? I've always said healing factor, because then I'd go down to the pub and be like, who wants to bet me 3 pints that I won't take this nail and drive it into my hand? Like stuff like that. But that or like telekinesis is kind of what I want. Like I would be a total troll the entire time. Everybody's glasses would just be slipping, and they'd be like, his hair would kind of go. He's like, stop! Why won't it? I would be a troll with telekinesis real hard. Yes.
What if Whis was in Avengers Endgame?
Oh, if Whis was in Avengers Endgame, it would have been like, and then it would have been over because Whis would have gone, no, thank you. Yes. My impression of Goku is just I've spent a lot of time around Sean, so I've kind of got that. And then Vegeta's just like, oh, look at me, I'm Prince of all Saiyans, I've got little man complex. That's my Vegeta impression, yeah. If I could fuse with anybody, Whis. Like, that would be awesome. I want that level of power. No, Toriko. Toriko is a show I did a long time ago. Every time he ate something like really good, he would get bigger and stronger. Heck, you know! Like you get more questions. Any questions you want to ask? Yeah.
If you could meet any person in history, who would it be?
If I could meet any person in history, who would it be? I mean, like, I think I know it's a cop-out answer, but like, it'd be interesting to meet Jesus. You're like, oh. So I'm from like 2,000 years after you die. Well, let me tell you about that. And he's like, I know, bro. I'm like, oh yeah, because God, right. Well, I don't see any more hands, so I'm just gonna, oh, hi.
Make America great again, or make Gohan great again.
Oh, dude, Gohan. Man, Gohan, I call him Tracksuit. Well, it's Tracksuit Gohan. It's Gohan is like that friend you had that was like always like, oh my God, Gohan's gonna be at the party. Oh no, oh look who just showed up. As Gohan is about to go up. Oh. And then like he goes away and gets a girlfriend. The next time you see him, he's like, I'm getting married and I don't rage anymore. No, I don't. I've got tomorrow. I've got a thing. I can't do it. I'm sorry. You're like, oh, you were the best of us. Yeah, Gohan. Yes. How much alcohol would it take? I would actually love to think that Whis could get drunk.
He'd probably get drunk if he wanted to.
If he wanted to. It's weird. It's like that Wolverine, like, he
Yeah.
just burns too fast or whatever, but he would... Lord, you just get Stewie. Why? Lord, no, okay, right. Drunk, no, drunk Whis just turns into Stewie. Drunk Whis would be, Lord Barry, you sleep too much and you're bad at your job. Yeah, something like that. Next question. Huh? What's my shot of choice? Actually, right now, Jameson. Yeah, used to be more of a Scotch man, but for some reason, actually, it was after my last tour of Dublin. Yeah, got really into Jameson. Yep. I do have pets. I've got a little dog named Harvey. He's a Boston Terrier. He's brilliant and little thing, and I love him. His name's Harvey. He's awesome. Next question. Yeah.
Do you like cats?
I like cats. I used to have a polydactyl cat, a Hemingway cat, that had 7 toes on each paw. So it could actually grab doors and like open doors. I saw it happen once and I freaked out. It was my roommate's cat, so it was one of those things where like it lived with me, but then when I moved out, it stayed. His name's Bear. Yeah. Favorite ingredient from Toriko? Oh man, that's century soup, man. There's something about the concept of century soup that just gives me joy. And like really deep consommes and stuff like that, I love. So yeah, that was dope. I made a Garara meal once, which was, because Garara is supposed to take like snow crab and Kobe beef, or king crab and Kobe beef. So I took king crab and wrapped it in thin slices of Kobe beef that I quickly seared, and then wrapped it in a chive, put hollandaise sauce on it, and then took that stick of, the rest of the stick of the snow crab and shaved it over a microplane so it made crab snow. Yeah. Next question. Yep.
If you were allowed to cast anyone to any role, who would you cast and as who?
Anyone to any role, who would I cast? I would cast... Do y'all know who Bobcat Goldthwait is? No. That's a reference that would have made sense 10 years ago. Oh, dang it. No, that's all I can think of right now. Okay. Jocko, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Oh. That's funny. I'm going to go with that. I got a couple more minutes, so yes.
Alien or Predator? Who's cooler?
Ooh, I'm going to go Predator, apparently. Surprised me. Any more? I'm gonna, what?
Yeah. If you could change any event in history at all, what would it be?
Any event in history, what would it be? Oh my God. I know it, but it's deeply personal. I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much. I can't, because I'm being honest, I'm thinking about it, and anything else is just kind of a joke. I like know exactly the moment that I'd be like, well, my life would be better, and I hate that person, so we're just gonna move that there. Done. Yeah.
What's the most embarrassing thing you said in front of someone?
Oh, most embarrassing thing I've said in front of someone? Oh God, I repress those. Those go away. I don't keep those around. They happen all the time. Oh, how about telling 12 national interviewers from news outlets that you were Tom Hiddleston? That's pretty freaking embarrassing. And getting home and going, God, that's low-key. Oh my God, I told him I was the handsome one. I just kept saying I was the handsome one. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's why they weren't correcting you.
That, I guess they thought I was bragging. Well, that's our time. Thank you so much for coming to my panel.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Moscow.
Either way, it's good. But yeah, we'll be there with the Chuck Huber panel in about like maybe 5-10 minutes or so.